I have section 1 and 2 of Christianity and Psychology. And section 1 starts out with a quote by William Kirkpatrick, who says, "If you're talking about Christianity, it is much truer to say that psychology and religion are competing faiths. If you seriously hold to one set of values, you will logically have to reject the other." This quote is based on secular psychology, and he says this because the secular schools of psychology comprise virtually of all modern psychology. Christians shouldn't abandon psychology just because it has falsehoods in it, but that they should bring God's truth through the deceived discipline. And it gives examples of falsehoods, which could be that human beings are just physical animals with no vital essence, soul, or spirit, or that the mind is just merely another name for the physical brain. Christianity and psychology are compatible for the simple reason that the biblical Christian worldview contains a psychology. In the book it says, from a man named Charles L. Allen, that the very essence of religion is to adjust the mind and the soul of man. Healing means bringing the person into the right relationship with the physical, mental, and spiritual laws of God. And then it gives the definition of psychology, and it says that it's the study of the soul, and that no worldview other than Christianity has truer insight to the spiritual realm. And then in the book, I liked what it said, but it was a lot. So I'm going to read it. It says, "It stands to reason that God's magnificent creation required thinking, cleaning, artistry, and execution, all qualities that men and women share with the Creator. As God reveals more of himself apart from the creative order and into the redemptive order, we find a person with personality, love, mercy, and grace. Again, qualities that are shared in limited quantities with the human race." And then there's section 2 called the soul, and it starts by saying that Christianity acknowledges the existence of the supernatural, including a consciousness within us that is more than an epiphenomenon of the brain, and that means that it's a secondary phenomenon that results from and accompanies another, and then it gives the example of a shadow. The Bible talks about body, breath of life, soul, spirit, heart, and mind, which suggests ontology, and that's the study of being, spiritual and physical. The Bible does not deny body, but it just simply says that the body is more than just physical. Then it talks about mind and body dualism, and that is a belief that the mind and the body exist as separate entities. This is believed by a famous neuropsychologist, and then it gives a quote that says, "Even though I know I am constantly changing, all molecules are changing, everything in me is being turned over substantially. There is nevertheless my identity, my consciousness of being essentially the same as I was 20 years ago. However much I may have changed, the continuity of my identity has remained undisrupted. And that is meaning that because the physical substance of the brain is constantly changing, no unity of identity could exist if consciousness were a condition that was just dependent on the physical brain." And the last thing is that Christian dualism provides a better foundation for psychology because it defends the integrity of our mind and our free will.